Hey everyone, just after 8 o'clock on this Sunday evening, another quick update for you on Hurricane Ida, which continues to move into southeastern Louisiana. Still a Category 3 hurricane now. As it's moved inland, it's lost a little bit of its strength, but still really impressive that it's held together this well over the past 8 to 9 hours. Winds still maxing out at 115 miles per hour, north-northwest movement at 9 miles per hour. Another clear sign that it's starting to weaken a little bit, the eye has kind of started to fill in with convection. That's a common feature of a storm that's kind of losing its umph, so to speak. So that'll be the general trend for the rest of the night tonight. Now that it's moved onshore and away from the Gulf of Mexico, it's lost its valuable heat source in the Gulf of Mexico. That being said, though, the impacts for southeast Louisiana have just been unreal in a horrible way. All of New Orleans is currently without power right now, and the last recorded wind gusts we had at the New Orleans International Airport was back at around 6 p.m. of 83 miles per hour, but the sensor went down, so that is the only wind gusts that we have that should be an accurate measurement. Unfortunately, we won't get to know for sure exactly how strong the winds got, but they were somewhere in the order of around 90 to 100 miles per hour so far tonight across much of the New Orleans area, over towards Metairie and over towards Kenner, where the actual airport is on the west side of town, closest to the eye of the storm. The hurricane warning is still in effect for much of southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, towards Macomb, as those hurricane-force winds come in later tonight. Then as you travel further north, it's still a tropical storm warning for Jackson, Yazoo City, Canton, Kosciuszko, even as far north as Starkville and Columbus under a tropical storm warning. Also talking about a flash flood watch, which extends over all of Mississippi, much of West Alabama. It looks like the most of our area will probably get possibly some flash flooding heading into Monday and Tuesday, especially west of I-65. Then you go north up to Memphis and Nashville, still a flash flood watch in effect there. So this is going to be a very impactful storm, not just for New Orleans, but for a large chunk of the Deep South. That excessive rainfall is at its highest right now, today and tonight, down towards New Orleans and southern Mississippi, with that high risk of excessive rainfall. Now tomorrow, that shifts farther to the north to include Jackson, Meridian, Columbus, places like Tuscaloosa, Hamilton, and a moderate risk of excessive rainfall for tomorrow. Then once Ida begins to lift up to the northeast into the Ohio River Valley, that focus shifts towards places east of Nashville, up into Kentucky and West Virginia, even into West Virginia. This will still be a very potentially hazardous storm with a lot of the excessive rainfall that's expected. Here's the latest severe weather outlook today and tonight. It's mostly going to be down towards the coast in southeast Mississippi, the Pine Belt region, and down towards the Gulf Coast, where they have the greatest risk for spin-up tornadoes as these tropical bands come ashore. Now tomorrow, that slight risk does nudge a little bit further north up towards Greene and Hale counties. All of us right now under a marginal risk for tornadoes. It's something we're going to have to watch very closely, and it'll be kind of a long-winded event, kind of starting late tomorrow morning and lasting into Tuesday afternoon. We have that potential for maybe some brief spin-up tornadoes across much of the area, and then into Tuesday, that shifts farther east towards places like Atlanta, Rome, and Chattanooga. Here's that latest forecast track, obviously expected to jet up to the northeast, and even as far east as New York, it may still have some tropical potential. Even when it makes it up to Nova Scotia, still probably going to be at least at tropical storm strength. So as I mentioned, the tropical storm warnings are in effect for Mississippi. That does not include central Alabama. It looks like we're not under a tropical storm warning. We are under a wind advisory. Right now, we're expecting south winds from around 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 40 for tomorrow and heading into Tuesday. That's the latest estimate that we've got for you so far. Our futurecast showing Ida moving inland with time down into southwest Mississippi by tomorrow morning. And you see those outer bands of rain starting to come into the picture down towards Greene and Hale counties by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That continues into the afternoon as more of those bands pop up over East Alabama by around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we get into Monday night, and this is where I think we have the greatest chance of seeing some spin-up tornadoes. If we do have any window, it'll probably start about here, and then continue into Tuesday morning. So we're looking at a potential overnight event where we'll need to have our weather radios charged up and need to have our phones charged up. Just anything that could wake you up in the middle of the night in the event of a potential tornado warning that gets issued. Then into Tuesday afternoon, late Tuesday afternoon and early Tuesday evening, most of the action pushes out of here and out over into Georgia with those bands setting up over towards Atlanta. So that's the latest with that. Rainfall totals will be pretty impressive, on the order of around 3 to 5 inches in most spots in Pickens County, Lamar, Marion counties. That's what we're looking at here at home. And the wind gusts will probably, once again, top out around 30 to 40 miles per hour for most spots. Let's take a look at that futurecast real quick. Looks like by, again, Tuesday morning, we see most of that push through and into Tuesday afternoon as well. Once again, maxing out around 30 to 40 miles per hour out at best. So one last look at the local impacts for you. Expecting around 2 to 5 inches of rain in total, with those highest amounts focused across west and northwest Alabama. And of course, with that, you have the potential for some flash flooding. So be mindful of that if you have to be out and about. Try to avoid driving if you can as much as possible. And that best tornado threat for tomorrow is going to be focused west of I-65, and that'll come in tomorrow night and into Tuesday afternoon, which is also when we expect the strongest wind speeds heading into the next couple of days. So that's the latest so far. We'll have another update for you coming up later tonight on the CBS 42 News at 10 as Ida continues to move inland. Until then, have a great night, everybody.